Yo, what's up, guys? And today we're going to be going over Glaceon VMAX. And if you don't know, you're about to find out. So, grab a blanket because it's about to get chilly. Yo, what's up, guys? And today we're going to be going over the Glaceon deck list that I have made. And this is probably a pretty dope list. I actually like it. So we'll get into it. So our main attacker, Glaceon VMAX, has an ability called Crystal Veil. If you don't know what that does, I'll explain it. It prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon VMAX except any Glaceon VMAX. So you pretty much block all your opponent's VMAX's attacks except another Glaceon. And honestly, you don't ever see this on the ladder. And there's a reason why. So, with that Glaceon VMAX, we have to have a Glaceon V. The cool thing about this card is, for one water energy, we can do Frozen Awakening. So, if you get stuck going second, don't worry, don't fret. It's perfect. Because Frozen Awakening allows you to search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon, evolve it, then shuffle your deck. So if you go second, you could literally evolve into a Glaceon VMAX and wall yourself. That is dope. That means you have protection against your opponent who went first, who's already set up. You know, it has that Urshifu V sitting there with the Rapid Strike energy. Your single strike waiting with like 2 Houndooms there. You can still block all that damage. That's crazy. That allows you to start setting up your bench and protecting yourself. Now, rumor mill has it that there's actually going to be a Glaceon V-Star. So, when we get into that, you can probably replace the VMAX with the V-Star, because Frozen Awakening will still work for that, technically. And it's a rumor. Don't quote me, unless I'm right. Then you can quote me. Anyways, so the cool thing about this too is, if you don't want to evolve into the VMAX, and somehow you get 3 energies on this, because eventually you will need to get 3 energies, you can use Heavy Snow. For 120 damage, you get to discard a Stadium in play. Now, honestly, you probably won't be using this attack at all, because you want to go into Glaceon VMAX as fast as possible. But in some scenarios, you may have to go into it just to protect yourself. Even if you're going against like a Suicune, a Zacian. God forbid if you go against a Zacian that hits you for weakness. That's another cool thing about this. Glaceon V is a water type Pokemon that isn't weak to electric. So, Jolteon can eat it. That being said, we're running a 4-4-3 Inteleon line. Guys, if you watch my videos, you know what Inteleon does. But if you're new, let me explain it. Rapid Strike Sobble has, for one colorless attachment, Keep Calling. That means you can look for more Sobbles, and that's the only thing you can look for in this deck, because we don't play any other Rapid Strike Pokemon. There is an iteration of this deck that plays with Medicham, but we'll get into that later. And then Sobble evolves into Drizzile. Drizzile with Shady Dealings allows you to look for a training card, one trainer card, and put it from your hand, from your deck into your hand. I totally butchered that, but it's alright, we'll keep going. And Drizzile evolves into Inteleon, which has Shady Dealings, but a better version of it. It allows you to grab 2 trainer cards from your deck and put it into your hand. So then you can combo and pair this up with things you need. And this isn't the only Inteleon we're running, because this is the 1 out of 3. We run Inteleon with Quick Shooting. So Quick Shooting allows you to put 2 damage counters on any Pokemon you want. So 2 damage counters. Oh, and I totally forgot about the VMAX attack. Let's go to that. So with Quick Shooting, it allows you to put 2 damage counters on anybody. Max Icicle does 150 to the active, and you get to do 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Pair that with Quick Shooting, that's 50 per turn. If you have 2 Quick Shootings, that's 70 per turn. Now it gets even crazier, because there's a card that we have in here that can boost up your attack when you're attacking Vs and GXs. That's if you're playing Expanded. But remember, this is strictly standard list. Don't play this in Expanded. You'll get your butt whooped. So, you see, we have our Glaceon V, our main attacker. We have our Inteleon line, which is the support. And now we have Suicune V. This is an alternative starter. If you can see your opponent mulligan, Or you start with this, Don't Fret. With Fleet-Footed ability, it allows you to draw one card. And Blizzard Rondo does 20 damage for all bench Pokemon in the game. Plus 20 damage. So, if your opponent has a full bench because they see Glaceon, you fill up your bench, send up a Suicune, you're doing 220. That's insane. Just for 2 energies. So let's get into the trainer cards. We run 2 Capacious Buckets. Capacious Buckets allows you to get water energies. Water energies allows you to attack. The cool thing about this is that when you go against decks like Decidueye or stuff that blocks Vs from attacking them, you can use your Inteleon line because we use water energies in this deck. So that's the really cool thing about this deck. So everyone in this deck uses water energies. No one does not use water energies. On top of that, you can pair that with Quick Ball. Quick Ball, throw away water energy, and bring out the Melony. The Melony then puts a water energy on your V Pokemon, and then that doesn't count as your attachment for the turn. And then you can put your water energy for the attachment of the turn, and then you can attack with Suicune. Or you can get your Glaceon ready. Glaceon will take some time because it runs 3 energies for its attack cost. But it's okay, because if you're going against a VMAX, you're walling the damage. So the time, you can take your time. You have some fun with it, you know what I mean? So, the last couple of videos I've been talking about special energies. And this is kind of part of that special energy block of videos that I have right now. We want to go against that. With that being said, we run Fan of Waves. Fan of Waves allows you to put a special energy from your opponent into the bottom of their deck. It slows them down. And with a deck like us, where we're preventing damage, or, you know, we kind of are not there yet, this helps us tremendously. Get rid of that Suicune's Capture Energy. Get rid of that Rapid Strike Energy. Get rid of that Single Strike Energy. We do damage to the bench based on abilities with Quick Shooting. We can get rid of that Fusion Strike Energy and attack the bench. We'll attack Muse, Genesect, whatever Fusion Strike Pokemon they throw at us. So, with that being said, we'll get into the search portion of this. We run 4 Level Balls, 4 Quick Balls, and 3 Evolution Incense. Now, the Evolution Incense isn't as important for Glaceon because Glaceon has attack that allows it to evolve. But we want to make sure we get our Drizziles and our Inteleons out. The faster we can get Quick Shootings out, or the Drizziles and a Shady Dilly Inteleon for clutchness, the better. And if we're playing with Suicune, we kind of want to get our Pokemon out. So that's why Quick Ball is really important. Or if you're going against a Zacian deck, you don't want to play your Glaceons, throw them away with Quick Ball, start getting more Sobbles out, start getting your Suicunes out. So I purposely did this where we have 4 Sobbles and 2 Suicunes. If we're going against a metal deck, we have 6 Pokemon on the bench. So remember that. Now if we're going against Jolteon or something, we have 2 Glaceon Vs, or 3 Glaceon Vs, and 4 Sobbles. We have 6 Pokemon on the bench, just in case we're a last minute clutch with Suicune. So it kind of covers, and that's why we run 3 Glaceons, 2 Suicunes, and 4 Sobbles. So we don't run air balloons because we have our item cards slotted. So we run 2 switches. Our stadium of choice is Training Court, which allows you to put 1 basic energy card from your discard pile to your hand. So as we use Melony, we really don't need to rely on this, but there's some cases where you do. And it's always good to have an extra water energy, especially since you need 3 water energies for Glaceon VMAX's attack. So that's where we use Training Court. Another option you can use is shopping mall, and then you can add more item cards into this. So, or Pokemon tools. So that's another way you can play this. For supporter line, we're running 1 Boss's Order, because we're doing so much damage to the bench, we don't really need to boss anybody up. And my secret weapon, 1 Flannery. If you don't know what Flannery does, because you don't see a lot of her being played, you get to discard a special energy card from your opponent's Pokemon and discard a stadium in play. So for those pesky Path to the Peaks, this is actually really good to get rid of your opponent's special energy and a Path to the Peak at the same time. So it's not like Fan of Waves where you can put it bottom of the deck, you actually discard it. So that's a very clutch card to have. We run 4 Melonies because Melony allows us to get the water energy from the discard pile and to put it on our Pokemon. And it allows us to draw 3 cards. So this is kind of like our draw base for the deck. And just in case we ever get into a pickle or a cucumber, we have Professor's Research. It discards our hand and we draw 7 cards so we can dig deeper into the deck. So, for our item Pokemon tools, we have 2 Snowleaf badges. If the Pokemon V attached to this card has Leafeon or Glaceon in its name, it has no retreat cost and no weakness. So remember I was telling you to be careful with Zacian? Well, sometimes you want to play Glaceon V with Telescopic Scope, so you're doing more damage. So most of the time you kind of will forget, like, oh yeah, I have this Snowleaf badge. But don't worry, we have that just to cover our butts when we go against metal decks. And not only that, we have free retreat. How big is free retreat? It's huge. So we can switch Glaceon VMAX, do 150, attack the bench, retreat, bring out Suicune, use a switch, and we can do all this stuff. We can literally move our Pokemon out. If we start taking damage, we can switch Pokemon out. So that's the cool thing about this. We run 1 Telescopic Sight. And the reason why I only run 1 is because 1 has to have a Snowleaf badge. Obligated. So, and Glaceon is the only Pokemon that can run it. So, that's why we only carry 1. Again, if you want to take out the switches for air balloons and switches the training courts for shopping malls, go for it. That'll probably be cool. You can try it out. But this is how I'm running it because this is what's giving me the most success so far. And for our energy count, we are running 4 capture energies and 6 water energies. Again, we don't heavily rely on having a lot of water energies, but it's good to have them just in case. Not only that, I feel like the capture energies allow you to grab more Pokemon and fill up your bench for Suicune. And not only that, Suicune has a 1 water, 1 colorless attachment cost for its attack for Blizzard Rondo. And Glaceon VMAX has a 1 water and 2 colorless for its Max Icicle. So it's beneficial to play multiple capture energies on these Pokemon. With that being said, you've seen the list. Now let's see if it actually works, right? I'm thoroughly confused. Alright. Dragon Deck Box. Arceus coin. We're going to call the coin flip. We're going to hit him with that tails. If we want the coin flip, then yes, we're going to go first. So that means we're going to draw our cards and see if we get anything good. And it's a double mulligan, our opponent and us. Urshifu Dark Box. So we mulligan again. With our lone Sobble. Sobble versus Sobble. Ooh, this is a hard one. Alright, I guess I'm gonna get rid of Glaceon VMAX. And I'm gonna grab me a Glaceon. I guess I'm gonna end my turn. They put the dark energy down, and they're gonna keep calling. What do they get?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Sobble, Urshifu. Alright. We're gonna evolve. Drizzile. So what are we gonna get? We could get the research, but I kinda like most of these cards, right? I guess we could get rid of Flannery. It's not like he's playing Path to the Peak. Hopefully. And I guess we'll just research. Big research. Get a Sobble. And we'll call it a game. So they got the Moltres. He's gonna retreat. So another Sobble. Alright. Okay. Okay, times 2. He already retreated, unless he has an escape rope or something. Okay, so now he has a full bench. So if I bring out Suicune, alright, there's a Drizzile right there. We can evolve into Drizzile. Get Capacious Bucket. Get 2 water energies. And then we could evolve into Inteleon. We have the Melony in hand, so we can get a Quick Ball and a Switch. So we'll switch. Quick Ball one of these water energies. Grab a Suicune. Put down this water energy. Melony. Got another Sobble, which is good. Telescopic Scope. And now we're protected by Crystal Veil. We're actually going to max Icicle. And we're going to hit that Moltres. Doing 60 damage. Energy Search, okay. Dark Energy, of course. Put on the Urshifu. I'm interested because like he hasn't evolved his Sobbles yet. Furious Blows does 150 to us. Okay. Evolution Incense. We'll grab a quick shooting. And then we'll hit. Oh man, and he gives up. That's unfortunate. Alright, Evolution's box. I can't say it. Piplio. Ah! We won the coin flip. We're gonna go first. Glaceon start.
Wow.
And it's Jolteon. Ew. At this point, I kind of realized that Jolteon doesn't do double damage towards me. So, this is a good matchup. Okay. Alright. They do play Path to the Peak, so we gotta watch out for that. Elemental Badge. Evolution Incense. So now we're kind of just waiting on what our opponent's gonna pick, right? He's gonna get Jolteon VMAX, but like he has no other Pokemon on the bench. So in this case, we're actually looking pretty good. More likely, they usually play Sobbles. He doesn't need Sobbles down. He needs to get another Jolteon. So there's a lot of things that he needs to get out. And looking at us going second with our water energy, we are looking good right now, like super good. We could probably use another Glaceon. So in the last match, you saw that, oh, Beedrill, okay, this is that build. Okay, so in our last match, we saw that we had to prioritize Suicune. And so this match, we're going to be prioritizing Glaceon because we are not affected by electric. Okay. And one thing I want to add is that I didn't add that fight into this because I wanted to use that for a TikTok. So you won't see me using Suicune or any other thing going on, but you can still enjoy this match. So enjoy. So in the original video, I didn't have that much dialogue going on. So right now we have our opponent in the corner. He has his Zigzagoon up front in the active, his two Jolteon sitting back there. So this is the perfect time to strike. We're gonna add another water energy, and then we're gonna have to research the hand. We unfortunately we didn't want to get rid of the Fan of Waves, but it gives us a better avenue and a better approach because we do get the Glaceon VMAX and we do get the Evolution Incense. We quick ball away to Suicune because we know Suicune is weak to lightning, so we didn't want that liability sitting on our bench. And we end up grabbing another Glaceon because this Glaceon is going to be strong. And what we're going to do is once they knock out our Sobble because they have damage on it, we can continue to build a wall to block all that Jolteon damage. The only thing that can stop us right now is Path to the Peak. So we shady dealings and we're kind of looking for something we need. So we end up going to get a Melony because we do want to accelerate more water energies. Yes, we did use Professor's research, but this sets us up for next turn. So we have no choice but to pass the turn. So back to our opponent just sitting on there with the two Jolteons and Zigzagoon. He evolves his Jolteon to Jolteon VMAX. Again, he has no Sobble, so he has no way to get out unless he plays like a research or Marnie or something to get him set up. He gets the Evolution Incense, so he's going to get his both VMAXs out. So this is good for our opponent because now he could use one, keep one on the bench, and once he gets knocked out, he has his backup attacker ready. He quick balls, and let's see what he throws away. He gets rid of the Beedrill. So this is the build with the Beedrill that literally knocks out anything with special energies. And he gets a Sobble on the floor. So we evolve again, so now we have our wall built. We Melony, so we want to attach the water energy to our active Glaceon, put the scope on it, and in this case I hesitated, but I ended up putting Capture Energy because we want to grab another Sobble, that way we have another out. So we end up attacking, and so this is kind of the hard part, right? Because usually Jolteon plays Cheryl's or something like that, so I didn't want to put damage that was going to be wasted. That's one thing you got to keep in mind. If your damage is going to be healed off, you pretty much just wasted a turn. So this is why I chose Sobble. In this situation, there's technically no right answer because Cheryl could be healed off of Jolteon, and Sobble can literally get scoop up net, and it doesn't matter. So there's a bunch of wasted damage everywhere. So this is why we attack that Sobble. And so now it's our opponent's turn, Level Ball, which sucks because we didn't want him to have Level Ball. Because with one card, we kind of wanted to keep him in the rut because he still didn't have energies. So he shady dealings, and he ends up getting a Marnie. So Marnie is something we did not want to see. That was bad news. So he level balls for a Sobble, then hits us with the Marnie. And we end up with the Flannery, the Drizzile, and the Level Ball. Alright, so we're kind of at the mercy of this. This still doesn't look really bad considering that we have, you know, a Drizzile out, we have a Level Ball, and we have a Flannery. Now, if they played Path, it would have been horrible. So, fortunately for us, we got the other Sobble out. He did knock out our Drizzile, and I think he realized that we could not take damage. A little embarrassing on his part. But we didn't need to use the Evolution Incense for Drizzile because we top decked Drizzile. So, pretty dope. Pretty dope. So now I'm thinking, so we evolve into Drizzile. We're going to activate Shady Dealings. And we're going to end up going to be looking for something that we can use, which is a Melony. We want to hold the Flannery. And now the reason why I say hold the Flannery is because if our opponent puts down Path to the Peak, we can get rid of the Stadium and we can get rid of the Quick Energy. You see what I'm saying? And then we still have Fan of Waves in our deck, so we can slow them down. We quick ball away the Glaceon and get a Sobble. Evolution Incense, grab a Drizzile just ahead of time. We kind of want to thin our deck out because we technically don't want to play any more Pokemon that he can knock out and kind of hold our opponent to just 2 prizes. So this is when we end up doing damage to the Jolteon. Because playing the Beedrill, you know, we're not seeing a lot of cards from our opponent. Because he's not playing the traditional Jolteon way, we can assume that if he's playing extra cards, he has to take cards from something else. You can't have the traditional deck that covers everything if you're specializing in something. So always keep that in mind. If the deck is playing cards that you're not used to seeing in that deck, that means they took out something that they shouldn't have took out. So back to our opponent. Our opponent has 150 damage on the active, and our opponent has 60 damage on its Jolteon VMAX on the bench, on top of 30 damage on its Inteleon with quick shooting. So we have damage spread out all the way. So at this point, we're waiting for our opponent to do something. So what are they going to do? And I want to say it was safe to assume that we were winning this match for 20. We have the momentum. We have the 2 energies on our bench Glaceon. We have 3 water energies on our active Glaceon. We have a quick shooting in our hands, a Flannery in our hands, and we are looking pretty damn good right now. Considering that we're going against Jolteon, we're doing damn well. So our opponent plays another Sobble down. Scoop up net. And this is the one thing that I totally forgot that he would have. So he scooped up net and used that Drizzile that he just scooped up and grabs the one thing that we do not want to see. And he's taking a second to get it. Can you guess what it is? Path to the freaking Peak. I hate that card. So now he plays Path. Now all my Glaceons are open to an attack. He quick balls away the Aurora Energy, gets Zig, and you know he's going to ping damage on our Glaceon. So now the clock is ticking. Luckily for us, we have Flannery. And remember what I told you about that Flannery? We can get rid of Path to the Peak, and we can get rid of a Quick Energy. Or Speed Energy. I am so sorry. Speed Energy. But no, he hits us with a Marnie. Oh. So we literally had everything in our hands to win this game. And now it's at the bottom of our deck. And we get Marnie to a horrible hand. How are we going to get rid of this Path to the Peak? And we draw a Capture Energy. This is terrible.
It just gets worse.
So we Capture Energy our Suicune.
Oh my god. I just misplayed.
Rest in peace, guys. Max Icicle. Oh man, I can't believe I misplayed that. Level Ball. Alright. Now that you heard the original audio, I just wanted to stop my commentary just so you can hear the audio of me just like, So now not only do we have damage on both our Glaceons with Path of the Peak, we now have a 2-prize Pokemon sitting on our bench that is weak to Jolteon. So now this isn't looking too good. If we look at our hand, we have a Glaceon VMAX, Level Ball, 2 Melonies, Snowleaf Badge, Switch, and Capture Energy. And now our Glaceons are sitting with 200 damage apiece, and we just top decked a Drizzile. So technically we are looking pretty bad, and it was really quick just because of that Path of the Peak play. We went from having all the momentum in the match to sitting about to lose to a 6-prize turn. So I was like, okay, well I can't use Melony because I have no water energies in my discard pile. So I end up retreating to Suicune, and I decided to play Melony to put the water energy on there, because in this case, right,
Oh, we already played our supporter for
we
the
have
turn.
a Glaceon with the same amount of damage as the other one, but it has all energies, and now we still have energy attachment.
Oh
and
no.
we end up using Suicune to attack. So what you see here is I wasn't actually doing math in my head, and I wasn't aware that I just needed to grab a Pokemon and that would be knockout. And that's knockout. Didn't see the capture card or the capture energy in my hand. And there you go, against Jolteon. That was a close one. If I didn't use my my big brain, it would have lost that one. That wasn't big brain. That was a fluke. It's a good time. So you see, guys, Glaceon V is very strong. In a meta where there's a bunch of VMAXs coming around and attacking left and right, we are actually able to wall that damage and hold our own. And when we can't use Glaceon, we have Suicune. And we can even use a mix of Glaceon doing damage to the bench and everything. And once it's time for Suicune to come out, and we don't want to give up 3 prizes, Suicune can literally clean up the floor. So this deck runs really smooth, as you've seen it. We have a couple tricks up our sleeves. The only thing I would say is be careful with Path of the Peak. Path of the Peak can hinder this deck and render it useless. With that being said, guys, I hope you really enjoy it. If you're liking the content, please like the video, subscribe, because I'll be making more and more deck analysis videos. So have a great night. Try this deck out, and if you really do like it, let me know in the comments. And since I'm running out of deck ideas, I don't know what to play next. So why don't you give me a deck request down below? And if you don't know what decks are good, or you don't even know what cards are, tell me your favorite Pokemon, and then I can try to make it work with the current cards we have in our sets. Alright guys, have a good night.